Hi, Damien here for Automotive Superstore. This is Aerpro's AM7X doubled-in head unit. It may be one of the most affordable CarPlay and Android Auto head units on the market right now, but that doesn't mean it's short on features. It's got some amazing features. Let's check them out. Let's start with what comes in the box. Besides the unit itself, you get the main power loom, obviously. That goes from this unit to an ISO style connector, and that just means you need an ISO to whatever vehicle you've got patch lead that you can grab on our site to allow you to plug and play this into your car. This is a secondary lead that's for your RCA pre-outs, front, rear and sub pre-outs on this one, and 2 connections for sub. And they're all 4 volts RMS, which is awesome again for an entry-level head unit. There are 2 video camera inputs as well as an AV input too. That's awesome. GPS antenna. This little QR code here is what you scan to download the full owner's manual. You get your Bluetooth microphone, obviously, a fascia surround, and some mounting screws. Now let's talk about some of the features of this unit. The surprising one for this price point is that it comes with wireless CarPlay and Android Auto, which is amazing for the price. You have to spend hundreds of dollars more for mainstream brands to get wireless CarPlay. So here's my phone connected. You can see here, what I press, the screen will emulate. I can go forward and backwards in tracks. My phone is connected wirelessly, which it actually does through the Bluetooth and the Wi-Fi built into this. Once you connect the Bluetooth, it connects to the Wi-Fi automatically, and every time you get in the car, it'll just work just like that. If you want to plug it in, you can plug it in. This unit actually has 2 USB connections. One is for your phone, and the other one is for flash drives for USB, for movies, and for music. I tested this with 1080p video files, and it worked quite happily. That's because this screen is a 1024 by 600 native resolution screen. Again, amazing for the price of this thing. Now I tested audio tracks up to 24 bits and 96 kilohertz, which is high res technically, and they happily played back too. So that's really nice as well from this unit. So this is the main screen for Apple CarPlay, and what's interesting on the Aerpro is it puts 10 icons on the screen, where most of the time you'll find they only put 8 icons on the screen. Swiping left and right goes across to the other apps that you get access to. And here you get access to your phone and your messages, and then other communication apps like WhatsApp, and then your navigation for Google Maps, Waze, and Apple's own mapping system. And of course, access to your podcasts and your music, Spotify, stuff like that. Hit the Aerpro logo to come back to the main menu. Here's the landing page giving us our sources along the bottom. And then our AV in, our 2 cameras, and then into setup. Here the default screen is just for general setup, so clock, things like that. Rear camera adjustments. It's nice to be able to adjust the microphone gain here. Come across into the display. So lots of adjustment for the display, which is also nice. Go to others next. Here you can do a factory reset and just check your steering wheel control. You can do adjustments for that in here. And let's go into audio. So subwoofer gain, they put that on this screen, which is great because that's a feature you tend to access more often than any other feature, because you're adjusting the subwoofer volume depending on what kind of recording you've got. An old recording will have low bass, a more modern recording will have a whole heap of bass. Subwoofer on and off. Loudness is just on and off on this unit. It's handy for listening at lower volume levels. It can make it sound more vibrant and bright at sort of low to moderate volume levels, but you tend to turn that off when you start turning the volume up. In filter, that means the crossover. Now, it's a very interesting crossover in this unit. You've got subwoofer filter, rear filter, and high pass filter. To adjust them, you actually put your finger on the screen and slide the slider to the frequency that you want, and you can see here is the frequency. And this unit can go all the way up to 640 Hertz, or as low as down to 20 Hertz for all of the channels, front, rear, and subwoofer. What's also interesting is the subwoofer filter can be set as a low pass or even as a high pass. An application for that, for example, would be a subsonic filter. If you had a ported subwoofer box and it was tuned at, say, 40 hertz, let's say it was tuned at 40 hertz, you would set a high pass filter of 24 dB per octave, and that will protect your subwoofer from ultra low frequencies below the port tuning frequency. And then your mono amplifier could do the low pass aspect. So that's a handy addition there. Also, you can adjust between Butterworth and Linkwitz-Riley alignments. I've never seen that before on a head unit. Also, I can note that the front and rear filters are variable from 6, 12, 18, and 24 dB per octave, whereas the subwoofer filter is just 12 and 24. And you can also adjust the phase between 180 degrees and 0 degrees for all pairs of channels. That's a fantastic crossover. Next is time alignment. And here you can just adjust in milliseconds up or down for each channel to delay it. But you get 1, 2, 3 different presets of time alignment curves that you could set. So you could set one for, say, both front passengers, or one for just the driver, or one for even just the passenger if you wanted to, and then you can easily reset it by hitting the reset button instead of having to go through and press the buttons to bring all of the time correction back to 0 again. So into the equalizer, there are a bunch of preset EQ curves to play around with. Or you've got 8 bands to tune with between 31 Hertz and 4 kilohertz. So there you have it, Aerpro's AM7X wireless CarPlay and Android Auto head unit at a great price. If you want to grab one for yourself, there'll be a link down below. While you're down there, like and subscribe as always, and I'll see you next time.